Landlords across New York State. As many of you are aware, the New York State Legislature is poised to vote today to extend the eviction moratorium for another 4 months. Obviously, we do not support that, and many of you landlords, if not all of you, do not support that as well. We have penned an open letter to the New York State Legislature that we invite you to share across all platforms of social media. Send it to their email accounts. Call them. Read it to them. Send it to their Facebook accounts. Send it to their Twitter accounts. Flood them with it. We invite you, we implore you to share this open letter to those legislators in the hopes that they do not extend this moratorium any longer. Here goes. Dear members of the New York State Legislature, we and the Landlord Advocates, and Matthew Lyman the host, implore you to not extend the COVID-19 Emergency Eviction and Foreclosure Prevention Act of 2020. Our reasoning behind this request has multiple foundations of fact that will substantiate why this act must not be extended. The concern of the government is that evictions will spread COVID-19. Let us look at the facts here in New York State. Evictions have not occurred, or if they have been highly limited. That said, how can the government ascertain that evictions will spread COVID-19? Many of these tenants have been visiting major shopping malls, grocery stores, restaurants, tourist destinations, and similar venues. What is the difference from attending the above and visiting a new place of residence? According to Governor Andrew M. Cuomo, the infection rate is very low in New York State, as well as the death rates of New Yorkers from COVID-19. Also, Governor Cuomo has publicly stated that he wants and believes all of New York will be open for business on and before July 1st, 2021. Chief Judge Janet DeFiore of the New York State court system has stated that all the courts will be back up to full staffing and courts will be open by May 24th, 2021. With the population of New York State over 19 million people and the infection rate and death rate being so low, it is time, and has been time, to allow landlords to commence eviction proceedings here in New York, and actually all across the United States. Mayor Bill de Blasio of New York City, which was the epicenter of the COVID-19 pandemic in the United States of America, has stated that New York City will fully reopen by June 1st, 2021. If the infection rate of the epicenter of New York State is so low that it will be reopened by June 1st, 2021, then why is not the rest of the state reopening as well? According to the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics, America gained over 900,000 jobs in March 2021 and 1 million jobs in April 2021. This number would be much higher if not for two factors. Unemployment has been very lucrative to so many as they are acquiring more money by not working than working. There are many businesses unable to open solely due to a lack of employees. Secondly, with moratoriums in place with no repercussions for not paying rent, there has been no need for those tenants to acquire employment to pay the rent. Reduce the unemployment benefits and end the moratoriums, and many more people will go back to work. The government's position is that when this is all over, the tenants will pay the back rent to landlords. Many landlords, not only in New York State, but the United States, know that this will not happen. We have been saying for months on and off social media that if the government firmly believes this, then the government can pay to us landlords what is due and later pursue the money from our tenants. Senator James Tedisco, a neighbor, a Republican from Glenville, New York, former Assembly Minority Leader before he became a New York State Senator, has proposed wonderful legislation that coincides with what our position has been at the Landlord Advocates. His bill provides loans to landlords for the back rent owed to them that only has to be repaid back to the government if the tenants pay them back. This is from Senator DeFiore, quote, "At the end of this moratorium, you'll have to pay back the landlord. So if they truly believe that they are going to pay the landlords back thousands, probably into the millions of dollars across the state government shouldn't be concerned about giving a loan to the landlords in the amount that they are owed. And when they are paid back, they will pay back the state of New York. Or does the state of New York and the governor really not believe that these individuals are going to pay back the landlords?" Senator DeFiore, on behalf of all landlords across New York State, we say a very warm thank you. Thank you. Legislators, we beg you not to extend the COVID-19 Emergency Eviction and Foreclosure Prevention Act of 2020 for all of our reasons stated above. Allow landlords and providers of housing the ability to recover our properties before it is too late and we are forced to relinquish the properties back to the bank or to our local governments due to non-payment of taxes. Do not take away what we have worked so hard for. For many of us, this is our retirement. We do not want to be forced to continue working into our 70s and 80s due to the extension of this moratorium. We thank you for your time and consideration. Sincerely, Matthew Lyman, host of the Landlord Advocates here on YouTube. That, Landlords, is the video that we invite you to share with our legislators in the hopes that they will see the light and not continue this eviction moratorium, as it is hurting landlords and others across the state of New York. Thank you.